Welcome to Vox Scream, a Kill Team podcast where we aim to help players of all skill levels supercharge their game and separate the signal from the noise. I'm Mark Meyer, joined by Kill Team heavyweights George Pratt and Joe Gallo. We're coming to you from the Triangle region in North Carolina. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Vox Scream. I was out last week because unfortunately my grandfather passed away, and I was not feeling like doing podcasting that day.
Can't say I blame you.
So thank you to my wonderful co-hosts for being understanding and appreciative of my period of mourning. But fuck all that sad shit. We're here to talk about plastic miniatures. So I am back, and I'm in a weird spot with Kill Team because I got my ticket. I got confirmation the other day, and now I'm just like, what do I do for the next 8 months?
Walk around and find out, bro.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you what you should be doing right now, Joe, and it's kind of specific to us and the geographic region that we're in. You should be watching college basketball because that's what you do in March. And what we do in March is we put a bracket together of something about Kill Team and try and figure out what is number one, whose cuisine will reign supreme. And this year, we are doing the best ploy in the game. So I picked 32 of the best ploys. Got some help from George and Joe on some.
All right. I need to interrupt you here.
Please.
You didn't get help from me at all. You gave me homework, and I didn't do it.
Well, I was trying to cut you some slack, buddy.
Yeah, don't cut me some slack. Call me out. I need to be better in the future.
Yeah, fuck you,
and
George.
that's not gonna happen if you.
No, Mark. This is progress. Let it happen. Let it happen.
It's okay.
Listener, I need you to understand. I didn't do shit. I was in the middle of making my Pokemon team.
All right.
And I just forgot about it.
Let's rewind this a little bit. I picked out most of these ploys. Joe sent in about 2 or 3 that I thought were good inclusions and one that I swapped out for something else. There is definitely some interesting conversations to be had here about why a ploy is good, why a ploy may be good in a vacuum, but not good compared to other things. And, if you disagree with any of the inclusions or what we end up coming to as, the best ploy, go onto our Discord, call us out, just like we're calling George out.
Yeah.
If
you're on YouTube, subscribe, just so you know that, whenever we put out a new episode, go to the comments, yell at us there, whatever you can do to boost engagement, do all that YouTube shit.
Anything else before we get this show on the road, guys?
No, but it'll be very funny if Vox Scream wins.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because we're actually starting with Vox Scream, the eponymous ploy, our namesake, of course, from the Night Lords, giving you a chance to basically just say no to an activation. It is noteworthy that was changed somewhat recently to a chance to say no.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I think because of the change, I don't think it's better than Rally the Flock, unfortunately.
Well, let's lay the groundwork here. We have Rally the Flock as well. Joe, you had suggested Rally the Flock and Canoptic Control, or Command Underlings, rather, as a ploy. And I thought that those two were kind of similar. I had a hard time deciding on whether to include something for Hyrotech Circle at all. But I don't think that's a team. I don't think that's a team that's really driven by its ploys.
Correct.
I think it's a team that's driven by the rules on their data cards.
Yes. So for me, and I think this is a question we're going to keep hitting as we go along, is it better now versus historically, right? So we're obviously Sanctifiers are not great right now. But I think historically, and I think going down in this game's history, with even in its current state, because it hasn't been, I don't recall if it's been changed yet.
Rally the Flock has been nerfed.
Yes. Which is, it changed the ranges, right?
No. I'm not sure if it changed the range.
I know they changed that you couldn't do a turning point 1. That was the first nerf.
And I think, yes, before you could just perform a full-ass fallback or dash. Now it's 3 inches. And you need to be visible to the order at the end of that.
So
movement.
This is the question that we need to answer now. Do we do it in their current state or at their most powerful state?
In the current state.
In the current state. This is the best ploy in the game in March of 2026. Also noteworthy that it still lets you do a free fallback with everybody who's in Sermon, which is really strong.
Powerful.
So you can do a free dash or fallback, 3-inch fallback, of course. It does have that visibility rider, but very, very strong.
But I think if that is the case, then I would say Rally the Flock is better because Vox Scream, unfortunately, it being on a dice roll now makes it significantly weaker. However, I do, and I have heard from other Nemclaw players that they've argued it's a buff because you get the CP refunded and you basically don't lose anything for trying it.
Yeah, you don't lose anything for trying it, and it's not 1+. I think I've played a number of Sanctifier's games, and the number of times I used Rally the Flock was 0. And it's mostly because it's redundant on the team. Whenever when the order moves, you get all the Rally the Flock benefits already.
I will say, George, you also did not play them the standard way they're supposed to be played.
I think that the best point that you can use Rally the Flock for is to get multiple people out of either blast range or out of, like, if you've got 2 or 3 dudes who are being tactically hugged, they can fall back. And this is something that you can use after the orator's already moved. So you can get multiple points of this in a turn.
If you have initiative, then it's just a waste of CP to use it. And they have to be in Sermon. So that means that most likely they're going to be within the 6-inch bubble of the orator anyway, or 3-inch if it's not the McLarge huge. To me, Rally the Flock is just redundancy that isn't super useful. While Vox Scream has the potential to swing a game, and Rally the Flock doesn't really have that sort of, like, you could swing a game with Rally by denying a blast, but like Vox Scream can just shut down an activation that lets you just win that game.
It's also huge in the elite matchup. If you can get the Vox Scream off in the elite matchup, it's definitely game changing.
Dude, I need to start playing Nemclaw again. I miss them. I've been trying to stay away from elites. Just because obviously I just got my ticket on them, but like Nemclaw looks so much fun.
Join the Chaos Cult.
Let's do it,
Join
Joe.
the cult.
Oh, dude, no, that would be
Play
funny.
Chaos Cult so you can teach me how to be better with Chaos Cult.
Dude, that would be tight. All 3 of us play Cult, and then we could just say they'll join the Vox Scream Cult. That's great. I love that, actually.
I've been
That's
having
pretty
so much
funny.
fun. I just played a tournament, and I lost the championship round against Murderwing by 1 point. And I would have won that game by 1 point if I had moved my Icon Arc onto my home point.
Yeah,
and that's
dude,
it. That was the only thing that I needed to do. Right, that was it.
Cult is a ton of fun.
Yeah, so
definitely.
Like, Cults have the sauce, and like, man, I'm enjoying them.
Dude, I guess we couldn't really do that if we went to a team tournament if all 3 of us could play Cult. but the thought occurred to me that we could all dress up as cultists. And we could still theoretically do this and just all play Chaos and it would still work. But, like, still be funny.
What we should do is somebody else needs to take the Chaos Cult models and proxy them as a different kill team. And then that way, it's technically all cults.
That's true. You can proxy Blooded and Brood Bros with the Chaos Cult models.
Yeah.
And with a little bit of...
Let me put some thought into that, because this is an idea that I like. But anyways.
Moving on, though, Vox Scream definitely taken round 1. I think that is a pretty tight choice, though. Those are both pretty good, especially to their respective teams.
Poach and Larceny, and what is that, Violent Temperament?
Yeah, and so for the listener, Poach/Larceny, that is Fruit and the Ratlings. It's their ploys that let them do mission actions.
The exact same way?
Yes, they do.
So, yeah.
Okay.
It lets you do mission actions on points that you don't control.
Can you still do them in control range, or is that... You can do it Larcenous in control range.
We'll say Larceny, then, is the better ploy.
The better version of that ploy, apparently.
Yeah. So. Violent Temperament, I did try to exclude reroll ploys because I don't think reroll ploys are, good outside of the vacuum. Like, everybody needs rerolls. But there are a few ploys that I included because I think that they are probably some of the best versions of reroll ploys.
And they also, it's key to how the team works for goats, particularly.
Right. Violent Temperament, for those who don't know, is basically like Worst Relentless. When you're fighting or retaliating, you can choose to reroll all of your dice, but you have to reroll all of them. You can't just pick some.
But in the case in which you just don't get a single hit, it's game changing.
In the case you don't get 2 hits, you Violent Temperament because they hit on 3s.
Right.
It is really, really, really good.
Or if you really need one crit, go crit fishing. It's also very good. Violent Temperament is, I think, the best reroll ploy in the game. In my opinion, Violent Temperament is the reroll ploy.
I don't think it is, purely because Strobe Lumens and the Nemesis Claw thing shut it off.
It doesn't shut it off. What happens in those cases where it's like you cannot reroll ones is like if you roll 2 ones and 2 other misses, you can still pick up and reroll the other 2 misses. You just can't reroll the ones. So it doesn't completely shut off the ability to do it, but it does certainly limit the value.
But it's the same thing, like, that stuff shuts off Ceaseless, too. Like, you just Ceaseless something else. And so, in that case, it's exactly the same as every other...
On a team... Well, I guess they don't mostly hit on 4s anymore, because they mostly hit on 3s now.
Yeah, only the Vandal hits on 4s, and he has Ceaseless natively if he's fighting.
Yeah, I'm thinking from last edition perspective, because the
2 questions that I have about this... I wasn't even sure Violent Temperament is the best ploy for goats. I really was considering including Ambush. I think Ambush is more important to the team, honestly.
Well,
I think
it's called the Hunt is the most important thing on the team, but we couldn't pick that one.
Right.
I actually think Violent Temperament is the most important ploy on goats, because that's the ploy you're going to use more often than Ambush. Because Ambush you get once a game, most basically. It is extremely powerful. Don't get me wrong.
It does activate a lot of the rules for the team.
Yeah. Ambush allows the team to do a bunch of nonsense. But you basically get it once a game. Unless you fucked up.
Yeah.
And you paid for it and don't use it.
But then is it better than Larceny? Because Larceny is pretty good. Very important to how the Rattlings operate.
Yeah, it's the other thing. Like, I think Violent Temperament lets you increase your reliability in a pretty significant way, while Larceny lets you like throw a Rattling or Crude up the board and just yoink a crit op out from under your opponent. And with the way that most crit ops work, that means that you're reducing their points in addition to scoring your points. So this is a really, really close one, but I think, Kill Team is a game about scoring points, and so I think Larcenous is the better ploy simply because of that.
I agree, too, especially when you consider how it interacts with Attack Op 2. Like, if you Larceny turn 2 to get, Plant Device, that's just 3 points. More if it's a crit op, like, where people are going to be trying to control objectives. I mean, it's tough, and I hate to see a Felgor ploy down so early, but I probably agree with you on that one.
The next one is not even a contest for me, and it is absolutely Fate is my weapon. Like, Fate is my weapon. I definitely am interested in this one. So Fate itself is my weapon is the one from Warp Coven, where you roll 2 dice and you can pick one and you keep it in the kitty and you can use it either to change one of your dice or one of your opponents.
Attack dice specifically. It only works on attack dice.
Correct.
Which is why I could not agree with Joe more. Absolute Authority is, I think, possibly the best ploy in the game. Absolute Authority is an Inquisition ploy that says when your opponent plays a strategic gambit or a strategic ploy or a firefight ploy, you just say no. Right. Don't do that. And, like, that's crazy powerful. To be like, I'm going to Larceny this. Actually, no, you're not. But I'm glad you put your guy there to get no value and for the kill op for me to have. I appreciate it. Stuff like that.
Here's the thing. How many ploys in the game let you just turn your opponent's, like, crits into a fail that they cannot manipulate anymore? Like, I mean,
this is the best form of dice manipulation in the game, just bar none. And it's crazy that it was even better before. Like, on release, you could use it basically for both of those things. Like, you could change one of yours and one of your opponents. Now you have to pick one or the other. But holy shit, dude!
You are correct in that Fate itself as my weapon is incredible dice manipulation, but it doesn't stop spikes. Like, if you just roll 3 crits, like, you're still dealing with 2 crits and a hit or whatever.
I know, 100%. But you use it when you're, like, for example, you use it in the instance where your opponent like flubs a roll heavy or like minorly. So like for example, you get 2 hits on a fight, and then you're like, oh well, I'm just gonna go and I'm the one fighting. Oh, I'm just gonna sub that dice out, parry you out, kill you, take no damage.
Absolutely,
is a game altering thing that just happened.
I do agree with you, George, though, that I think that it's not so much about like preventing disaster as it is sort of taking an average situation and either turning it into like a great situation or like a terrible situation for your opponent.
Yeah. Fate itself is a great way to manipulate something that is average. Hey, hold on. Okay. I still disagree that is the winner. Fate itself is not just better than Absolute Authority. It is a great way to take a situation, one single attack sequence, 2 of yours, because if you roll real high, you can manipulate more than 1 dice.
Absolute Authority does not matter on teams that have great ploys all around. Straight up.
Well, actually, I think it's better for teams that have great ploys all around because the key rider on Absolute Authority is that you can only use it on each ploy once per game. Yeah. So, like, on a team like Rekka's, where you're using it for just a scratch, there's certainly like some value there, but you're only going to be able to block that once.
Also,
right?
it being changed to not being able to be used on free ploys is massive, and a lot of teams
that was changed last edition. It was always not allowed on free ploys, and there's not a lot of free ploys in the game.
Was that the
case? That was changed last edition.
What am I thinking that they changed for free ploys?
Maybe the hand version of this, which is it by a CP cost. But
either way,
Authority never worked on free ploys. So the thing with Absolute Authority is that, yes, Fate itself can change an attack sequence, but you can recover from a bad attack sequence unless you're on like turn 4. If you're relying on a ploy on turn 2 to get your work done, or turn 3 to get your work done, and the Inquisition player says, hey, I know that ploy is real important to you, no.
Okay, I'm going to agree with you, George, because, like, for example, like, it's the reason why Inquisition destroys stealth suits, because they literally, like, are so heavily reliant on the few good ploys that they have. Like, being able to deny their, like, retro thrusters is just game ending.
And here's the thing, is that the way that I remember it, I could be wrong about this, I think that last edition you could do the same ploy, you just couldn't do it in successive turns, but it was 1 plus CP last edition. Now it is not 1 plus CP.
When it came out last edition, it was 1 CP. You could do it on every ploy, the same ploy all game. It didn't cost more.
Nope.
It was the most busted thing in the world. Like,
and honestly, it still is.
It's a pretty amazing ploy. Pretty crazy heavyweight matchup in the first round too.
Yeah, that I'm a little sad that those two got paired off. I think they would have gone to the end, both of them.
I didn't seed this. I just kind of randomly put stuff. So moving on to the next round, we have Glory to the Martyrs. This is the strike on death ploy that Celestians have. It also, if you get the kill, turns you inspiring, which then feeds into the benedictions, really activates their whole sort of like faction gameplay. And then Lookout Sir, this is just sort of the ploy that so many teams have where you can use like another dude as the target of a fight or a shoot if you're trying to target an important operative.
I'm biased because I love Celestians. I think it's the Lookout Sir. The only issue with Lookout Sir is the change that any blast or torn ignores it.
Yeah,
which is like a lot of teams just have natively.
Also, X-Inch Devastating ignores.
No, I think it's just blast and torrent.
It might be splash. I mean, here's the problem with that is that it works differently on each different team. It was hard for me to pick one individual use of this. There's a couple other ploys that are kind of more generalized, like
whichever is the one that lets you whichever is the one that lets you do on fighting and shooting is the best one.
They're all the same. They're all for fighting. Like the only difference between some of them is the range at which you can use the Lookout Sir ploy.
Isn't it 3 inches for pretty much everyone?
Pretty much everyone, yeah. Yeah, but most of them, I think all of them work on fighting and shooting. None of them work
not
on
the one on not fucking Savior Protocols.
Well, that one's not a ploy, and it Pathfinder.
It is a ploy. Savior Protocols is a firefight ploy that only works on shooting.
Oh, so
ridiculous. Again,
Mark, I was gonna say it's Glory to the Martyrs. That's the better ploy, actually.
You think so?
I think it's.
I'll agree because I think it is if you set this up for your opponent, it is such a massive like Sophie's Choice.
Yeah, it can be a back-breaking. So, Lookout Sir is really good if you set yourself up in a position where you know you have to do this thing, but you're going to take a counteract or something back.
Yeah,
and then you can shunt that negative effect to some mook. That's strong. But Glory of the Martyrs allows the team that's on it not only damage on death. So if you charge a 2-wound operative in, she's going to get one tapped, but you have your severe, you strike for 4 damage or whatever with shock or whatever. Or if it's a power weapon, you roll a 5, you hit him for 6, they slap you back, they kill you, you hit him for 4, you've dealt 10 damage.
It is just also like an enormous amount of value out of that CP. Not only are you getting the strike on death and in theory killing an operative,
you're getting a 3 APL out of it potentially.
Yeah, I mean you're active, like you're taking a model who didn't even have inspiring, giving it that, and then being able to dish out a benediction as a result of that.
Yeah, which can be 3 APL or ceaseless. Like that team with ceaseless is so strong.
I will say specifically, this is one of the biggest ways to deal with their worst matchup with being elites. Because what I do pretty often with them is I'll send one of the mace ladies into them, and then I'll just try to do as much damage as humanly possible. And basically,
if you manage to like if they charge you and you can hit them twice before they kill you, like they're gonna crit and a hit, they're gonna 2-tap you, and you're not inspired, so you don't have severe. They hit you with a crit, you hit them. They hit you with a normal, you hit them. You've dealt them 8 damage. Yes, they've killed you, but instead of killing you for getting only 1 hit in, you've doubled your damage output. Now they have 6 wounds, and a power up comes in and 1-taps them. Right? That's the sort of thing that this is, even without the extra benefit of inspiration, being able to strike with a damage dice on death is so incredibly strong. It's like, I don't know why the Anointed... I think the Anointed from Legionary has it, right?
You're thinking of the Cursed Claw.
Oh, no, they have a Ploy. They have a Corn Ploy. The Corn Ploy is so busted on that team.
It's very good.
The Cursed Claw is even a contender into most things because it can strike on death.
Yeah. No, I think that's a very good point. And as much as Lookout Sir is a good genre of ploy, I think that there's enough ways to get around it, like we were talking about. Also, like, it's the sort of thing where you can kind of see it coming and work around it. Whereas, if you want to fight a Celestian, you kind of have to take into account that this is always a threat.
This is Dirty Fighters from Nem Club, but better.
Moving on, we've got Condemn, which is the you can't do your rerolls thing for Blades of Cain. Works when you're getting shot at or you're retaliating. And then Soul Drain, which is the damage reduction ploy for Canoptech if your operative or if the operative fighting has moved through the Matrix or if they're fighting somebody who's on the Matrix. Crazy how, like, if somebody moves through the Matrix, they have this debuff the entire activation.
Yeah, dude, Soul Drain is bullshit, and it's not bullshit because it's good. It's bullshit because Tomb Crawlers have 21 wounds and a 3-up save.
It's flat damage reduction. I think it goes min 2, and it works for the whole activation. Yep. I think it's probably one of the best damage reduction ploys in the game, but Condemn.
Bro, it makes chain swords hard to kill the Griblies.
But the thing is, like, you still charge the 7-wound dickheads because there's still 7-wound dickheads.
But it takes 3 hits now, which is really annoying.
It's really annoying, but it's only because Tomb Crawlers are fucking so durable.
Or even the leader, because he's on 14 or 15.
Yeah. But I think Condemn is the better of these two ploys, and I don't think it's even close.
I have never been more annoyed at a ploy than Condemn. Like, it is... It's unfortunately they do need it because it's the one of their main defensive ploys when they get charged.
It's like they have 2 pieces of defensive tech. It's Condemn and the Justice Scratch equipment.
Yeah. I mean, I will tell you that this was originally seeded before I hit the randomizer button like 50 times, and this was seeded very highly. We move on to Lumbering Death, which is the ceaseless if you haven't moved for Plague Marines. I think this is probably one of the best reroll ploys in the game. We also have Guilt Reveals Itself, which is the 4-inch pop you out of cover ploy that the Exaction Squad has.
Also, the Inquisition has this technically as well.
Yes, Long Arm of the Emperor's Law or something like that. I don't remember what it's called.
Inquisition version is better just because they have access to a Melt-A-Gun.
Sure.
While Exaction Squad shotguns are crap.
I tried to pick different ploys for each team, though, and Absolute Authority had to be the Inquisition ploy.
I'm going to treat Guilt Reveals as the Inquisition ploy, because in Inquisition, it's significantly stronger.
Sure. So we'll pretend that this is intense scrutiny, then.
Yeah. Between Ceaseless, if you haven't moved more than 3 inches, or on Counteract, that's actually good for that particular team. It wouldn't be very good on almost any other team except for Plague Marines. But being able to just you're not in cover outside 4 inches, which you still get your cover save. So it's I don't want to get into it.
Yeah.
The ability to just be I'm going to shoot this melter gun at you, and I only need to get within 4 inches, and I have 3 APL to move dash. So 9 inches plus 4 inches. I have a 13-inch threat range with this 6-inch gun. I'll probably get there. And it works on flamers. You ever try and hide a horde team when you can just 4-inch 5 of them instead of 2-inch 2 of them? You just run flamers and go, hey, that's a big, nice knot of dudes. Blap.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's intense scrutiny, without a doubt.
I'd agree, Joe. Do you think so as well?
I will make an argument for Lumbering Death and see if either of you agree. So, Lumbering Death, specifically in the context and the way that they play the game, is what makes it really good. So,
agreed.
In combination with Contagion, and their play style of they have to move up and just kind of sit there, it makes it such a nightmare for your opponent that has a poison token to fight, shoot, or charge you. Particularly fight. Fight is the big one, because I have when on my run with Plague Marines, even this is fair mind, this is pre-Contagion nerf, but they would just sit there and they would just out consistency the opponent. This makes them the most consistent team in the game, I think, in terms of dice reliability outside of Rekkas, because they can literally fix their dice. But there is no other elite team in the game that gets ceaseless like this and commonly get it like this. Mm-hmm. And it's why
Legionary.
No, but theirs is, I believe,
the opportunity cost of taking it on Legionary is much higher than it is on.
I
don't disagree, but I don't feel very strongly that it's different.
Hey George, what do I have to do to get it on Plague Marines?
Move 3 inches.
What are they not doing most times anyway?
Yeah, I know. So here's the thing with Legionary Ceaseless is that it works on everything within 6 inches of you, which you could still move dash and shoot someone. And still
is that if you're Zeech marked or no?
No, if you're Undivided marked.
Undivided, yeah.
Which you have to sacrifice all of the Firefight ploys to not do that.
Yeah, but the Slanesh Firefight ploy is kind of bad. It's fine. It's a tech piece. The Nurgle ploy became bad because it's no longer... Or no, now it's only good for Nurgles because that's...
So what I'm hearing is it's worse.
No, I think the Undivided mark is the best mark.
No, I'm just saying in general, because of the specific combination the team uses...
What I would say, Joe, is I would agree with you that I think Lumbering Death is so important to how Plague Marines function as a team. The idea is that you're going to take some hits, and Lumbering Death is just you always are able to punish your opponent when they go and try and take care of you on the board somewhere.
Yeah, I agree. Lumbering Death is a punishment tool.
I think that Lumbering Death is more important to how the team functions than how Guilt Reveals Itself or Intense Scrutiny is to how Inquisition or all that functions. But what I would say for Guilt Reveals Itself or Intense Scrutiny is that it just disrupts your opponent's game plan so much because it just makes hiding on the board so much more difficult.
Yeah, it enables their powerful gun pieces to be able to have more flexibility. And like on a team like Inquisition, where you can have multiple powerful gun pieces, that itself can be breaking. Like if you're taking 5 Sisters of Silence with Flamers against a Horde team, and the Horde cannot rely on the cover they're standing in to prevent Torrent going off, like that's just backbreaking. Get 2 of those off, and you could win the game on the spot.
I think the last 2 matches in this first half of the bracket are going to be pretty quick. We've got Eye Above. That is a ploy for the Tempestus Aquilons.
So good. Pick a model. That model, everyone within 2 inches. You get a balanced defense die or block twice. Block 2 dice. It's
the double
so
block.
strong. I don't know what Gory Tenacity does. I'm pretty sure Eye Above is better.
Gory Tenacity is the half damage ploy on every fight and retaliate from Warmongers. I think
Still feel
that's
that way, George?
Yes, I do, actually. I think Eye Above is an incredibly powerful defensive tool that no Aquilon player is using.
Brother,
but
I agree with you, George. Nobody is using it.
Can be pushed through. I cannot tell you the number of times playing as Jaegers that Goremongers have charged me and then bounced right off my little dudes.
Yeah, they're a bad matchup for Goremongers, though.
And same thing with Rekos. Like, Gory Tenacity is strong into the teams it's strong into, but it doesn't do anything into the teams that it doesn't do anything into. But Eye Above is strong into every team. Being able to like, yeah, I balance defense dice, and every time you shoot me with this group of dudes, or like that melee guy, does he have brutal? No. Well, I guess I'm taking my 2 hits and I'm blocking 4 of yours. Like, Eye Above is so strong.
And that's why I included it, because when I looked at their ploys, it's just really wild how much value you're getting out of it. It's very flexible.
And no one uses it. It's crazy. It's so good.
I am going to have to agree with Joe here, though. I think Gory Tenacity is the best damage reduction in the game. And without it, frankly, Goremongers would fall apart.
Yeah, because they're elves.
Yeah.
Like, I agree, Gory Tenacity is crucial to the Goremongers game plan, but I don't think it's as good as Eye Above. And I'll go on record saying that.
I think that's fair. This is going to be a tough bracket over here to get through. We do have some competition down here, though, not necessarily within the match. We've got Rot Defense, which is basically, if you roll 1 or more misses on your defense saves as Hearthkin Salvagers, you can just retain a save. Basically, like, if you're in cover, you're just going to save everything, guaranteed. Pretty good. But Storm's Bite is the Space Wolf Scouts -1 attack dice ploy that they have.
I mean, it's Storm's Bite.
It's pretty easily Storm's Bite.
Even after the nerf where it doesn't work when you're retaliating, it's still Storm's Bite, because reducing an attack dice is just like crazy powerful for melee.
Absolutely.
Yep,
it's
agreed.
Easily one of the strongest ploys in the game. Moving on, though, to the other half of the bracket, we've got some strong contenders over here. First up at the top, we've got Malignant Narcissism. That is the Murder Wings ploy that lets them take the last activation, and then Sickening Aura, which is the -1 to hit if you're within 2 inches of a mutant or torment on the Chaos Cult.
I've been playing Chaos Cult. Sickening Aura is great. The answer is Malicious Narcissism.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like, there's no
Malicious Narcissism is probably going to go down as one of the most powerful ploys in this game ever, period, point blank.
It should be straight up 2 command points to use every time you want to use it. Like, not 1+. Straight
and
up
people would still save all their command points to use it if that was the case.
Absolutely,
It's
because
very
the
good.
team is not CP intensive.
I'm expecting this one to make the Final Four.
A turn. It's crazy.
Yeah. Going down, we've got 2 ploys from some, less favored teams. We've got Segarak's Jest from the Void Dancer troop. That is the one where if you're retaliating against an opponent, you can roll a dice. And if you roll under their weapon hit stat, you can force them to block with their dice. So very strong defensive melee ploy. Not really anything particularly like it. And then we have Ocelli, which is the Vespids ploy that lets them basically pop up onto Vantage. They're treated as being 3 inches higher than their opponent. Very strong on Into the Dark.
It's very strong on Into the Dark. I think Segarak's Jest is the stronger ploy. But like, this one's really close.
Yeah.
Fake Vantage is really good. but it's not so good on Vulgus.
What would you say if the matchup instead was Segarax Jest versus the ploy that Vespids have that lets them just ignore a damage dice and shooting on a 5-up?
See, but I don't think that's even Vespid's best ploy. I think Vespid's best ploy is balanced when moving because that just synergizes with the game plan.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably right.
But like, I don't even think that one is as good as Segarax Jest, because Segarax Jest could, like, if you're playing against, let's say, Pathfinder's hit on 5s, you're guaranteeing that they're not dealing you damage in melee, more or less, and you're guaranteeing you kill them. If you play against a team that hits on 4s in melee, I mean, it is technically 50-50, but even so, you're still likely 2-tapping them without taking any damage. And on an elf team, getting out of melee with essentially a 1-tap, taking no damage, is super, super strong because they're so fragile. And so I think Segarax Jest is just, in the context of the team, better than basically any ploy that Vespid have in the context of that team. And like, Vespid have some good ploys.
Yeah, I mean, and it was tough for me to even pick that one because the other I was thinking between Segarax Jest, and they also have that strategic ploy that lets them like shoot while they're doing a reposition. Like, I think that Void Dancer Troop has some really fun ploys. Right. That's ultimately why I went for Segarax, because it's more of a melee team, and so this is more important to their game plan. All right, moving on, we've got Marines versus Elves Classic. We've got From Darkness Death, which is for Hand of the Archon if you're not visible to the target.
Not a valid target.
Not a valid target. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Much easier to do.
Yes, much easier. If you're not a valid target to the operative and you target them first time in turn for shooting or fighting, you get to retain a hit as a crit instead. And then, of course, They Shall Know No Fear, Marines ploy that lets them just ignore injury. Really, really good.
From Darkness Death is an incredible ploy that can really just turn a team from like, I have lethal 5, 4 dice on 3s with Ceaseless. Here's 2 hits, 2 crits to 3 crits or even 4 crits or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I think the answer is no fear. I don't think it's even close.
No fear is literally the way most Marine teams functioned in 2 editions now, and it's come over from last edition now too. Like, I think the designers have made it pretty clear that like this is the way they want Marine teams to be designed around, at least theoretically. I mean, so for example, we'll see what happens with Wolf Scouts and their particular version of this that's outside of ploys. But particularly loyalist Marines get to enjoy this particular bit of Space Marine I'm a hero shit. So
yeah, and like we've had conversations on the podcast where Joe roasts me because I don't use And They Shall Know No Fear too much because I don't really care about injury, but like that doesn't mean I don't know its effects. I don't know how actually strong ignoring injury is. I just find the cases
now, George, which
to ignore it is
which one of us won a golden ticket with Angels?
When they got buffed twice.
Yeah, who uses no fear every turn?
Yeah, listen, we've had this conversation multiple times. Who got best LVO with pre-buff Angels? 23rd out of over 100 was this guy. Do you know how many times I used And They Shall Know No Fear? I think maybe twice for all 9 games.
That's crazy.
It's just it is powerful. It's a very powerful effect. It's just I don't find it to be important a lot of the time.
I mean, I think having the option to use it on like critical turns is always super nice. And that's part of why I like it so much as a ploy, as opposed to, I mean, sure, the equipment piece that Plague Marines have that lets them use this is very strong. And I think a very good value out of an equipment piece, but you don't always need it, right? Like, I think that No Fear is great in a lot of turns, kind of like, an always have ploy like you're talking about, Joe. But I also think it's most useful when you win initiative and you have a guy on death's door that you want to like get some real big value out of before they kick the bucket, right?
Yeah, it's an incredibly powerful situational ploy. And on the other side of the coin, like people like Joe, it's an incredibly powerful, I want to use this all the time because it rolling 4 up scares me, ploy.
Scares me, that's for sure.
So
Well,
like,
speaking of a
yeah, the answer is no fear, and I don't think it's close.
Speaking of an incredibly powerful situational ploy, we have vectored retro thrusters, which is the fallback reaction sort of thing that the stealth suits have. That's going up against creeping horror. That is the dash in between activations that Mandrakes get.
Ooh.
That's really tricky.
Ooh, that's tough. That's tricky. I think the answer, this is kind of unfair because strategic ploys are in general more powerful than firefight ploys because they affect the entire team, where a firefight ploy only affects one model most of the time. And so in this context, creeping horror letting you get dashes with lots of models, perhaps your entire team's worth of models, while vectored retro thrusters only keeps one guy safe. I have to give it to creeping horror on just the quantity of models that can be used on.
I think so too. And while it is a shame because I think vectored retro thrusters is such a big ploy to making stealth suits work, and I think that it is really powerful, I do think that there isn't counterplay to creeping horror. It's just all value and pretty easy to stay in shadow while you're doing it. Whereas with vectored retro thrusters, if you just get a double charge, you're only saving one dude.
Yeah, and if you get the charge and they give you the free 3 inches and you can get to someone else within 2 of the guy you're charging, or you can get within 2 of someone else and then take a shot off, like, yeah, there's counterplay to vectored retro thrusters. The only counterplay to creeping horror is, did your Mandrake's opponent fuck up?
Yeah. And that's the sort of thing where if it was seeded, I think that vectored retro thrusters could have gone further up the bracket. But alas, we've got 2 firefight ploys here. We've got System Exorcism, which is the ploy that Battleclade has that lets them remove debuffs, remove negative APL modifiers, those sorts of things. Going up against Ruthless Coordination, that is the ploy that Brood Brothers have that lets them pick a different guy to be the operative that you're using to draw your cover lines from.
The answer is Ruthless, and it's not even close. Like, System Exorcism is good. It's a good, defensive tool. The amount of absolutely bonkers, nutty shots that I've done with Ruthless Coordination on Brood Bros has literally won me games on turn 1.
Yeah,
it's fucking nuts.
Getting the value out of going up and 2-inching a guy with a crack grenade with a useless operative and then immediately taking a plasma shot because you didn't kill the guy within 2 inches is just absolutely BM. And really, System Exorcism is a very cool ploy, but no, I agree. I think that Ruthless Coordination breaks the game in such a potent way.
Yeah, I had a random Brood Bros guy run up to within 2 inches of Lucidium Starstriders model, and then the sniper was like, yeah, I'm going to use that guy, and he's just standing there pointing over the barricade, like, here, right here, shoot him, here.
Do you think that remote access would have stood a better chance in this matchup?
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either.
Fucked. It's so
trust me, y'all know I love this. I love that team, but no.
Yeah, it was hard to pick a good ploy for them. They've got cool ploys, but not a lot of particularly potent ones, in my opinion. Again, I think it's a data card driven team. That's why they're not great right now. Nope.
Hey, they got second place in the tournament that I went to.
Yeah, they have a lot more teeth now than they did. I played against them recently, and it was a very close game. Here in the next round, we have Critical Shots, which is the Phobos ploy that lets you push through D3 damage on top of the critical damage if you're able to sink a crit in shooting. And then we have Right Out of Sight, which is the ploy that lets you either fall back or dash and then burrow as a gambit with the Raveners. My initial instinct is probably Right Out of Sight here, but Critical Shots has really been the bane of my existence when I was playing against Phobos, what felt like all the fucking time.
And as a vocal critical shot advocate in a sea of critical shot naysayers, it's right out of sight, and I don't think it's close.
Yeah, and speaking of teams that have good ploys, like the Raveners, they just have so many good ones. It was hard to pick one.
Yeah, incredible ploys. Luckily, most of them are tied to a super, telegraphed tunnel. But, they've got 40 millimeter bases. They can just, show up on one side of that tunnel and then charge 5 inches and wreck your shit. So, yeah, it's a good team, and it's definitely right at the site.
It's a shame that you can't use it to ride into sight anymore. That was incredible. I loved that.
I'm so glad you can't do that anymore.
Moving right along, we've got Blood for the Blood God, which is the +1 damage ploy for the Khorne Legionaries. And then we have Seize the Initiative, which is the do a 1 AP action with your Kasrkin model if you don't have the initiative.
This one's actually a lot closer than I think it seems at first blush. I'm sure you're tempted to say, well, it's Seize the Initiative because I can get a melt-a-shot off. It's like, yes, you can. But have you considered 6 Space Marines all with 5/6 damage in their melee? Have you considered that? Because I have. And let me tell you, you think Rekkas are good? How about 5 attacks at 5/6 damage on double the number of operatives that have it? It's wild.
Just as a point of emphasis, if you take the Malefic Blades, it's each Marine has 4/5 damage, not 5/6 damage. Because the base on the blades is 3/4.
Yeah, you just don't take hunters. You just take 6 melee specialists. You can take 6 melee specialists. Actually, I don't think you... Yeah, you can take warriors.
Yeah, I think part of you have that option to really go ham with melee like that, or you have the option to have a viable melee threat as a gunner too.
Yeah, and I've a number of times I picked the Meltagun. He's Khorne, not Tzeentch. Actually, the Meltagun's always undivided because you want to ceaseless Meltagun. I'll take a Khorne Flamer so that I can charge up the board, 2-tap someone with my now chainsword, and then torrent 3 other dudes. Because I got extra movement.
God, you really do love Flamers, bro.
I love Flamers. They're so good. Flamers win games.
I do agree that this is a pretty close one, though. Joe, what's your take here?
Seize the Initiative, I think, for me, is a unique thing Kasrkin can do that let them now win games. Maybe I'm biased. I recently just played into this as stealth suits, and man, the fact they can,
that must have been miserable.
No, it was literally you just wait until the end, pick that guy as your envoy, move dash, seize the initiative, shoot somebody within 3, or even better yet, you dash them forward so they get into range. And then shoot them.
You can't move with Seize the Initiative. I think that's one of the stipulations.
No, I'm saying they're the recon ploy.
Oh, yeah. Recon ploy.
You dash to within range, and then you shoot them with Seize the Initiative.
Here, and I'm working against my own case where I don't think of Seize the Initiative, but you can do more with Seize the Initiative than just shoot someone. Yeah. You can give out a comms, and you're on the board, because it's a 1 AP action.
You can loot.
You can loot. You can do a mission action. You could...
Particularly the comms one is very useful because if you're on a point, contesting a point with, say, a Space Marine, for example, you just give the guy that's contesting the point 1 APL so they can't immediately loot. They have to either shoot you first or charge and fight you first.
That is pretty interesting.
Seize the Initiative is good. It's a very strong ploy. It has good use. And it can swing games. But I think Blood for the Blood God, and this is why I think it's better, is that if you build your game plan around Blood for the Blood God, then you are basically guaranteeing that you're putting yourself in a position where +1 damage is the thing that will win you the game across the board.
This is a pretty tricky one. I'm really torn here. So Seize the Initiative being just such a powerful thing, but it's only useful in the situation where you don't have initiative. You can only use it if you're going second. that's definitely a demerit, even though it basically always gives you the option to go first in a manner of speaking. I think if you're using it in a situation to take an aggressive action, you're sacrificing the unit. Like, you are using that to take a shot on a unit that is like, well, if I don't get this kill, they're going to die. Or this unit's going to die. I should probably try and get some value out of them anyway. Although I do think it's much more flexible than Blood for the Blood God. As you're saying, George, I think that it's really, really strong and can basically be sort of like the cornerstone of your game plan. But there is so much damage reduction rolling around that it does kind of just feel like it has less utility. I mean, it is giving you basically
with damage reduction, it's more useful because it turns your 4/5 chainswords back into 4/5 chainswords, which is way stronger than 3/4 chainswords.
Right. I mean, I think at that point it's ultimately a wash. Like, you're probably going to spend the command point on this ploy every single turn, and that's just going to force your opponent to spend for their damage reduction every single turn.
And remember, legionaries can generate more command points with the icon bearer.
This whole cluster down here is going to be a really interesting discussion. I feel like I'm the tiebreaker here. And thinking about
you are.
It is. I know.
Yeah, this is tough. Like,
this is a really.
I won't be too mad if either one wins. I think it's Blood for the Blood God, but like, I think the difference is this. Like, it's nothing.
I'm going to take Seize the Initiative here, because even before the Kazakin buffs, in those like weeks leading up to those buffs, the team was at like a 65% win rate, and that was predicated almost entirely on the ploy.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Seize the Initiative is a fantastically powerful gimmick.
Speaking of a fantastically powerful gimmick, we've got Just to Scratch. It's funny because I was looking at the rules for Sanctifiers, and I was looking at Rosarius, and I was like, oh man, it's a Just to Scratch. You can just use it whenever you want. And I was like, wait, why don't I just pick Just to Scratch? Because they work the same way. You can block a damage dice on any operative you want once per turning point as a Firefight ploy. That's going up against No Kin Left Behind, which is the ploy that Jaegers have, that when an operative dies, you can put down the kin token. It just stays in the kill zone forever, basically, unless you put down a different one, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yes. If you use it again, it goes away and you put down a new one.
And if you're fighting or shooting or retaliating against an operative within 3 inches of the token, you can either upgrade a miss to a hit or a hit to the crit. And that is a ton of value out of just one command point. But Just to Scratch feels like it's more of the sort of play that just swings games.
Yeah, the answer is Just to Scratch, and it's entirely because No Kin Left Behind has a range requirement. You have to be in a specific place on the board to use it. And, like, because it's so strong, you build your game plan around where that kin token is going to be. And if you're wrong, you lose. And if you're right, you're playing a game, because Jaegers are kind of a little underpowered still. But, like, Just to Scratch is, oh, that guy over there, I need him healthy after this fight. I'm going to Just to Scratch. Or that guy over there, he took a shot. I need him healthy so he can charge and fight back. Just to Scratch. Like, Just to Scratch is you just use it.
Yeah, I think that flexibility and just the potency, they kind of work in the same way, where this is giving you an extra hit and this is taking away a hit. But I think at that point, it does come down to the utility of it. Let's just go ahead and start back down here while we got these two ploys fresh in our mind. First first match of the next round, we've got Seize the Initiative going up against Just to Scratch.
It's Seize the Initiative, and I don't think it's close.
What do you think, Joe?
I think Just to Scratch, yeah.
Ooh. Wow, we need a tiebreaker.
I think, Just to Scratch, once again, in the way No Fear is such a fundamental way orc teams operate now, and has given them their identity. It was so strong that it had to be changed for the rest of the game, because they can't work on crits anymore because of how strong that it was. And No Kin Left Behind has been never that strong.
We're past that.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Were you? I'm sorry. Versus C's. Yeah, I still feel the same way. I think that specifically it lets Rekkas function. And not even just Rekkas, but Commandos.
Yeah, Skull have Just to Scratch. Blades of Cain have a Just a Scratch.
Yeah, I mean,
have a
for
Just
me,
a Scratch.
I mean,
Like,
obviously, because we used Just a Scratch here, obviously, for the name. It's such the identity of orcs for me that I really think that, like, this is it lets them do things that other teams can't do.
If I have to go for the tiebreaker here, I think the difference is that Seize the Initiative, again, you can only use it if you're going second, and it's very good if you're going second. Just a Scratch is a ploy that you are saving command points to use every single turn because of how powerful it is.
Yeah, I don't hate that. Just Scratch is incredibly strong, and like, there's a reason that it is one of the few ploys that has an acronym.
Yeah, and the fact that it is a shorthand for so many things and so many rules have been based off of it because it's such a powerful rule definitely lends a lot to the argument here. This whole like side of the bracket right here is just crazy. There are lots of heavyweight matchups here. We got Ruthless Coordination against Writhe Out of Sight.
Oh, this one's tough, actually.
I think so too. I think that Ruthless Coordination breaks the game more than Writhe Out of Sight.
See, I disagree. So, okay, hear me out. Ruthless Coordination breaks the game if you have a plasma gun, melt-a-gun, or a sniper to use with it, right? It lets you take a shot from a position of relative safety and use the most beneficial cover line to still take that shot to, remove obscuring, remove cover. And so, like, it allows your power pieces to project even more power out from across the rest of your team. It is an incredibly strong ploy. Writhe Out of Sight lets a 21 wound melee monster just be untargetable. I don't give a fuck what weapons you have, what rules you have. I'm not on the kill zone. Go fuck yourself.
What do you think, Joe?
Writhe Out of Sight is one of those ploys that breaks the game in the same way Ruthless Coordination does. But I think Writhe Out of Sight, when I keep going back to this point, is like so crucial to the way Raveners play, and they wouldn't be able to play the way they play without Writhe Out of Sight. That I think that Brew Brothers could, without Ruthless Coordination, play at least the Horde game in the way that the Hordes play, just not as effectively at shooting. Whereas with Writhe Out of Sight, I mean, it just takes away a huge chunk of their identity for Raveners.
Yeah, and I mean, having the chance to deal damage that's not guaranteed, you still have to go and take a shooting attack after this, versus guaranteeing that a Ravener is going to live. I think the argument for the value of Writhe Out of Sight is it is very strong. Again, we have Marines versus Dark Eldar. We've got No Fear against Creeping Horror.
I think it's No Fear. I think it's closer this time, but I think it's No Fear.
Yeah, I think No Fear is, once again, it is such a fundamental identity of loyalist Space Marines and lets them be the heroes that they want to be.
Yeah, I think that it is very close. And as somebody who I think that movement is the strongest mechanic in the game, and things that let you get extra movement and out of phase movement are the best mechanics. But I'm also like, I think that No Fear is the sort of like, I think that there is counterplay to Creeping Horror, despite what you said earlier, George, where you can still kind of anticipate where your opponent's going to go. You can anticipate, like, you can kind of just stay out of threat range. No Fear, like, you cannot ignore it. That's the whole thing, is that they're ignoring injury. They're turning off all their stuff. And like, I think that you're right. I think that ultimately No Fear is going to just edge this out. But I think that one is a tough matchup. This one's probably going to be a little bit easier. Malignant Narcissism versus Segarak's Chest.
It's Malignant Narcissism.
It's Malignant Narcissism.
Yep. That's pretty cut and dry there. Segarak's Chest strong, but I mean, Malignant Narcissism, like I said, I'm expecting that one to make it to the final four. Very strong ploy. Similarly, Chaos Space Marine, we got Vox Scream, and then that's going up against Larceny.
Vox Scream.
Yeah, I mean, this is a tough one because they both do kind of the same thing. They both put you in a position of advantage on the board. Larceny does it by giving you points. Vox Scream does it by preventing an important activation, I think it's larceny simply because you don't have to roll for it. You do have to roll for Vox Scream. That small bit of unreliability, I think, is what makes Poach and Larceny the slightly better ploy in this context.
It's hard for me to separate them as if I was I'm picturing these two teams matching up on the board, but I think that Larceny does give you just a little bit more reliability. I think that getting you're guaranteed to get the points if you're using Larceny, whereas like Vox Stream, it is a chance to swing the game, but it is just a chance. And so I think we got to take reliability there. The Emperor's Finest, we've got absolute authority.
It's gotta be absolute. I'm sorry.
Absolute authority.
It's
glory to the martyrs. Yeah. Crazy how, I do think that this was such a heavyweight matchup. Glory to or rather Fate itself versus absolute. But
next one is also just Condemn. It's not even close.
Yeah, Condemn is going to just walk. I think that it's Condemn.
No, George is not even close. You can't reroll anything.
But that only works once.
They only needed to work once.
No,
They're elves.
No, they don't. No, they don't. If they're facing a horde team and you can project more than one threat on models, being able to stop one reroll does not guarantee you survival.
I have used Condemn so many times to just get a kill where I should not have gotten a kill on my opponent's activation.
Yeah, that's fine if they're fighting you, but if they're not fighting you, that's not a thing you can do with it.
It works perfectly fine for shooting too, especially with fucking...
And if they have more than one threat, you can only use it once a turn.
If they can chain an activation together, sure, but most teams can't.
You don't need to chain an activation together. If they have 12 models, you can only get so many double kills. That's my point. Condemn works once a turn. The Guilt Reveals or the...
we chose to do fire... I think we should not be using Firefight Ploy's inherent weakness being only able to be used once because we chose to mix Firefight and Strategics.
That is important because we're looking for the strongest Ploy period.
Then we should have separated the two, but we didn't.
No, this is we didn't, and now we have to take that into consideration. We must take into consideration for the strongest Ploy period how powerful it can be across the turn and across the game. And across a turn, the Guilt Reveals...
Condemn will win you the game.
I'm only going to use it in the context of Inquisition, because again, Inquisition is the better version.
You can play around Guilt Reveals itself.
You can...
You can't play around Condemn. Condemn
sure
is
just...
Not really!
You accept that it'll happen, and you just use another model later. That's the play around it. You just have to accept that things don't go your way sometimes. And that your opponent says, hey, that sucks, you can't do anything about it.
Right, but some teams don't function with that being a thing.
And some teams do, is my point.
Okay, well, part of the reason why that Blades are able to hang with teams that are higher than their level is because of this fucking ploy.
That's true. And so Inquisition dominates the game because of their ability to force
They dominate the game because they out-activate 90% of the game and then also have the most piercing in the game.
It's not the out-activation.
Yeah, let's pause here. I agree that evading your opponent is a strong thing, but that is not an end-all be-all. I think that ultimately, as the tiebreaker, I do have to go with Condemn. I think that as somebody who has played almost strictly Bailey teams for a very long time now, yes, Guilt Reveals itself is strong, and it does force me to play a different way, but it's if you know how to sort of play around it and position, I think that it's not really that big of a deal. I agree with you, George, that I think it's really strong, and it forces your opponent to play in such a different way. That being said, I think that once you can kind of adapt to that style where it's okay, I just have to be 2 inches further back. We all know too how a lot of the teams that are going to be able to sure, this if you're going up against Pathfinders with Guilt Reveals itself or just I don't know, some wimpy shooting team.
So here's another thing that's makes it harder to play or to just measure around it is that the two teams that have this ability also have access to comms. Yes. And so you have to say, okay, well, this model can move 9 inches and has a 13-inch threat range on his gun, and the board is 22 inches wide, minus 6 inches because of the 3-inch deploy. So now it's 16 inches wide. And if I move, if with that 13-inch threat range from my side of the board, I can fire into your deployment zone. You can't just play away from that. I can get to your deployment zone. I can
and then you roll a bunch of 1s and 2s, and I use condemn, and then you don't do anything.
Yep, unless I don't roll 1s and 2s, and then you don't use condemn, and you die. Like,
So
to me, this
it
is no
cancels each
content.
other out
It's not
then.
condemn. It's guilt reveals, and like it's not even close.
I see. I disagree. I think that it is pretty close. I think that they are very different. And like, if you want to, if the listener, if you think that it is, bullshit to mix firefight ploys and strategic ploys, feel
don't
free
think
to
it's
let me
bullshit to
know,
mix those.
on the Discord. I just thought this would be a fun thing to do. It ain't that.
I'm having a great time.
Yeah, and it's cool.
Put in the comments how right I am on the YouTube comments.
Right. You are going to have to do that though, because if I'm the tiebreaker, I'm pushing condemn through. I think that having like it's so funny too, because like if you're pretending this is intense scrutiny, so you're thinking about Inquisition, well, they would just absolute authority and say, well, you're not going to use condemn. So
Yeah, but it's not condemn versus absolute authority because absolute authority would win.
right. We'll see. It might be here soon.
It probably will be.
We got Gory Tenacity going up against Storm's Bite.
Storm's Bite.
Storm's
Moving
Bite,
An entire
yeah.
attack is better than half damage on one.
Yeah, Storm's Bite is just is so strong.
All right, the Elite
I am
Eight.
seeing an unfortunate trend as we're getting closer.
That the ploys are better.
No,
the point?
that the newer ploys are winning out.
Yeah, because they're better.
Well, let's see. Gosh, I don't even know where to start. Let's go
at
back to the top.
left. Yeah,
Yeah,
It's absolute authority.
against
It's absolute
larceny.
authority.
I think so. I think you got to give absolute
Honestly,
authority.
I think
strong.
absolute authority wins just straight up, but we'll see.
might be the best play in the game. But
What about condemn versus Storm's Bite?
it's Storm's Bite.
Storm's Bite, yeah.
It's Storm's
Oh, and
Bite.
that's so
This
close,
one's
too.
close, but it's Storm's Bite.
Even with the change to it being on retaliate, yes.
Just taking away an attack dice is just absolutely insane.
It's
It's so
backbreaking.
strong.
Does any other thing in the game do that outside of like abilities?
The Inquisition book can do that. The
Yeah, that's
Inquisition
what I'm
leader
saying. The
book-
book can do it, but
The
not.
there's that operative who can do it.
Oh,
on,
the whip on Felgor.
yeah, and also the sword lady from Celestians.
Yeah, that's only if you choose.
Accept
to
the
take one of those
challenge,
tactics.
which you are not. Or no, it's if you deny
If
the
you
challenge.
Deny the challenge, you lose an attack dice. If you accept the challenge, she gains an attack dice. Yeah.
And then if she kills you, it's permanent.
Right. And most of the time you're going to accept the challenge, but not always. But yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
think
Storm's Bite. It's Storm's Bite.
that's a close one, though. I don't think it's quite as cut and dry as you guys think. But I think that you're getting more value out of Storm's Bite. Condemn, it does. You could just have a whole game where your opponent doesn't roll poorly. And
Well, we can just go ahead and get the top one out of the way. Malicious Narcissism.
Yeah, it beats
Not
no
close.
fear, no problem.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that one's pretty
And
easy.
I think Justice Scratch here beats it pretty
Yeah,
handily as
this
well.
one's really tough. I do think it's probably just a scratch.
I think so,
Because
too.
there are enough conditions on Ride Out of Sight where you could be out of position for it. Or
Yeah.
just a scratch you can just use.
And also, like, you use right out of sight at the start of the turning point, and that's
It's a
good.
strategic gambit. And this is the one situation where it being a strategic gambit is actually like nerfing it. If it was a firefight ploy, it'd be better.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh boy, now we have to.
The heavy hitters.
Whoa.
Absolute authority versus Storm's Bite.
It's absolute authority.
I think it's absolute authority.
Yeah, I don't. Absolute authority is just so much better than Storm's Bite. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And I think it's malicious narcissism.
Malignant narcissism. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's malignant narcissism over just a scratch.
Yeah.
And then I think it's just absolute authority.
Really?
Oh man, I agree with Joe. I think absolute authority is still better than malignant narcissism.
Guess what shuts the other off?
Yeah, it does shut the other off, but also like malignant narcissism, there is play around it if you can put yourself in a position where making them do that move is still risky or if they don't have, like, you can put
you can fuck
things in
up.
a way.
You can
They
fuck
can
up.
fuck up, and you can also like move models in such a way where it becomes, you can take away the momentum that they were building with that malignant narcissism. Like you just overload a point with
100%.
bodies, and now
And what
they
I
were
dislike
waiting-
about absolute authority is you can just use it. You literally like there's the fact this is still not +1 CP.
Well, it
now,
was before.
Absolute
yes.
Authority was 1+. Now it would be too weak at 1+. The fact that like Absolute Authority has a good enough restriction on you can only use it on one ploy once a game. Like that is a strong enough restriction where it still makes it a useful, powerful ploy.
I'll be honest. This ploy should not exist. These two ploys that we have in the finals should not exist.
I agree with you, but this is not the world that we live in.
I know. I'm
Yeah.
just saying that the two most powerful ploys.
I also don't think Storm's Bite should exist.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't think like if we're going to like the Elite 8, like I think that Larceny's fine. I think
Yes.
that Condemn, I don't like
Condemn
it.
is fine because
If it was
it's
weak-
turn.
I think Condemn needs a nerf, but I think it's fine. If it got nerfed, I think that Blades of Cain would fall apart.
Yeah, I think
But-
Condemn is fine.
If
I
they
just
get
hate
a,
it.
if they,
I just
if
hate
they
it. I
get a,
hate Condemn, and I'm so
it
glad it
should
didn't
make
get
you
to the
mad.
end.
It
It does.
should make
It
you
does.
Here's the thing: if elves get like a 1+ C8 like health buff, then yeah, I think it needs to fucking
Elves should be
change.
9 moons. I'll go on record and say there should be 9 moons.
Yeah, but I my issue with it is that I think you do have to change a lot about those teams because
I
like,
don't
for
think they
example,
should be 7-inch move.
yeah, like for example, I
9
think
wounds, 6-inch move. I'd be okay with that.
yeah, and that could be a whole separate discussion, but yeah, Just a Scratch, they've already fixed it to be fine.
Just a scratch is fine. I think right out of sight is fine now that they nerfed
Yeah.
that. I think that no fear is
fine. It's
obviously
just
fine.
Boring.
Yeah,
no fear.
I don't know fear. Well, okay.
So
No,
what we're saying
no
is
fear is fine in the context if it's not paired off with ignoring stuns as well.
Well, the
Because-
Wolf Scouts are also free. Like, there's so many problems with the Wolf Scout version of No Fear.
Right.
And, like, it is unrecognizable to deploy.
Yeah,
I
it's,
agree.
It's crazy to me that it just is always on. Like it just does not matter. Like you take this guy, you don't have to pay a CP for this, whereas I'm paying 3 CP for the 3 CP as angels for this.
Oh wait, I was trying to do the scores and I fucked that up.
And I'm gonna go on record too, since we're getting to the end of this too, like, and because I think we're getting close-ish to the data slate. Wolf Scouts need to be heavily nerfed.
Wolf Scouts need a rework. I think they're
I think we're getting
perfect.
close to a full
think they're
redesign their ploys from the ground up.
almost perfect. If they get a rework, I'm happy. If they get a nerf, I'm mad. But they deserve a nerf. But I'm gonna be mad about it.
They need to be smacked with a hammer hard.
I think if you nerf one or two things, it's just going to fall apart.
I don't care at this point. I
so.
think
Like if they were 12 wounds, that'd be fine.
Mark,
Like, if that
here's
was
the
an
thing.
Earthly Dark.
We can always fix that.
We won't.
We
You know
can,
how
though.
long it takes for them to
won't.
fix
But
things like that?
here's the thing. Would you prefer that or here? And I'm gonna let's.
I prefer that they stay strong because I'm painting them and I want to play them.
Oh, okay. Well, at least you're being honest.
fair. That's fair. That's reasonable.
Hey, Mark, you want to guess how many golds they have right now?
A lot.
They have a lot.
They're
They've been
very
winning so many
good.
tournaments.
Guess. Just throw out a number right now.
6, 7.
No, not
Nailed
6. They haven't been out long enough for it to be 6, 7.
They've got
40.
like 30 or 40 gold.
33 with 9 with 5 undefeats.
Yeah, like Wolf Scouts
They're
are still
crazy.
very much.
You want to guess who the next closest is?
It's because they're super fast. They're super durable. They're super damage inducing. They have no weakness to melee. They have no weakness to shooting. Like, who knew that a fast, strong, durable team with no weaknesses was
The
good?
next
Crazy.
closest is not even double.
Yeah, it's not
It's-
even half as much.
It's
I've been looking at things.
14, and it's tied between Angels of Death and Rekkas. They are doubled by the next closest. That is how insane Wolf Scouts are right now. They have double the amount of golds of their second and third place contenders.
Weird. Making a team with no weaknesses would be strong.
Yeah. I mean,
Who could have seen that coming?
I would change the equipment. I think that their equipment is too good. I think that that's what I would target.
They need to change everything about the team, straight up. I'm very close to advocating for a wound to get removed at this point.
I've been advocating they should have a wound removed. They should not ignore piercing.
Genuinely removing a wound might be enough.
I would just basically completely scrap the damage reduction equipment. I think that 13 wounds is fine as long as they don't reduce damage. I think that then if you like change the way that the lethal 5 works so that it's, you know, maybe on one guy, I don't know. Like that's the fact that you get it on everybody in the lethal 4. That's crazy. Also, the leader's got to change, like reviving and then getting healed. It's disgusting. So
you should be just.
And also, I will say just asterisk because we'll discuss more of this on the next episode. Rekkas might be a problem.
Did I not say that?
They might be
when they showed that buff for Worlds. Did I not say that?
Listen. So. Because they're the next on the list with 14 golds. With 14 golds. However, they have 10 undefeats, which is double the amount Wolf Scout has.
Call me George Stradamus, because I can fucking predict the future.
I genuinely think the only thing that needs to change about them is they can only retain 2 instead of 3.
I think that is something very small like that. Or
I think
that
being able to retain 3 dice is too strong.
I think being able to retain 3 dice is crazy powerful.
Because it just guarantees killing things far too often, and I think that's probably it. That's the only thing I change. And then obviously we have Murder Wing. They actually only have 9 golds right now, but I still think
Murder Wing are eminently beatable. You just have to not be afraid of them.
Just change boost to not apply to charges, and just fucking make the malicious narcissism 1+. Or just get rid of it. I'll take getting rid of it too.
I would take getting rid of it, but they're not.
I think that the thing that I am in favor of is bold change. Just overall.
Yes. Oh, next slate. Okay. Yes.
We're getting very far afield here. I got to get going soon. So
yes.
If you got
I'll just say asterisk bold changes with a small amount of teams, because I think the game. Anytime I'm not playing Wolf Scouts or Murder Wing on either side of the table, I'm having a ton of fun. So.
Yeah, that's why I think that Wolf Scouts need to be fine, though, because what if it's me and I want to have a ton of fun? We hope you enjoyed this episode of Vox Screen. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, YouTube, or anywhere else you get your podcasts. Please follow, subscribe, and leave us a review. Any of those things are going to help us grow. Thanks for listening, and we'll be back soon with another episode.